Welcome back to Ladyfinger Point. It's time for my annual camp out here. I usually don't come here this early in the season. It's actually Valentine's Day today. I usually come here in March, but the weather's been so mild this weekend that I couldn't pass it up. So this is site number 3. I've never stayed here. You'll have to forgive me if I'm a little out of breath. I'm just getting over a respiratory virus. And I'm getting pretty winded pretty easily. But I'm glad to be upright and out in nature. So right over there, amongst those rocks, is site number 4. That's what I had reserved for tonight. And when I pulled up to the booth, the employee there told me that it was already taken. And I said, but I reserved it online. And she said, yeah, that's weird. I don't know why. So she said, which other one would you like, 2 or 3? 2 is right there, which tells me 2 is empty. And hopefully it stays that way. 1 is over there. It's occupied. And this is 3, and I kind of like it because it's kind of drops down into a little bowl, and the sagebrush is high, so it's kind of private. I still would have preferred to be over by the rocks, but the problem with number 4 also is a lot of people park in the parking lot up here, and they see those rocks and they go straight down to them, and they walk right through your camp. So I'm kind of relieved, but also confused because nobody's over there in any of those sites. She said they came in last night for 2 nights. I think she may have misread something, but it's okay. I like this one. So here's what we're looking at. It's organized chaos. I got a lot of stuff in here. And I will go through that later. Right now, I need to set everything up and just get myself squared away. Turn the chaos into some kind of thing resembling a campsite. Okay, here we go. I got it set up. This is my son's Alps Mountaineering Lynx 1 backpacking tent. I got my stereotypical camping chair. I lost all the, what do you call those? The little feet that go on the bottom. And tested it already. I didn't sink too far into the sand, so I think it'll be okay. I have better chairs, but that's the one I grabbed. In here, I have my actual pillow from home, which is the nice thing about car camping, and an actual large-sized Coleman sleeping bag that's 0 degree and super warm and comfortable. Too heavy for backpacking. Those are my thermals. I've got some hand warmers in there somewhere. And the reason there are hand warmers is because you cannot have fires here at Ladyfinger Point. You can't have them. Plus, as you look around, you can see that Antelope Island is kind of a tinderbox. I've camped here many times, and there's also Bridger Bay and White Rock Bay And there's a backcountry trail that I want to take soon before the bugs come out. Bridger Bay and White Rock Bay all allow campfires, but they tend to be very populated. So far, things have been really peaceful. I had a pretty good discussion just a little bit ago with a gentleman across the way. He's from New Orleans, and asked me about some of my gear and what to do with some of his. He's traveling, so it's a little harder for him to plan things out, but it seems like he's having a good time. He's a photographer. Once I sit down for a minute and catch my freaking breath, we will take a hike down there to the Great Salt Lake, and later tonight when the sun sets, we'll go to the actual Ladyfinger Point and watch the sunset. So I apologize for taking so long. It's been like 5.5 months since I made a video. It's been a long winter, a difficult one, in terms of me or my kids getting sick, or school obligations with my kids, the usual single dad stuff. So I'm back, and I plan to hit it pretty hard this year. Almost forgot to give you the tour. This is my coat and insulated hoodie and gloves and miscellaneous things to keep warm. And here's what we're looking at as far as this camp out goes. We've got dinner and breakfast and lunch, if we're here for lunch. I don't know if we will be, but I always bring that just in case. Hand warmers, electronics equipment that brings you the video, water, my cook kit, a knife. This is my 1200 lumen headlamp. It's made by Sofrin. Glasses case, fuel canister. This little cozy was given to me by my son for Christmas one year, I think. So it's the first time using that. Bluetooth speaker. That's a gift from my buddy Joe that this may be one of the first gifts he ever gave me back in 2017 or so, 18. I brought this because I downloaded a movie to my phone, and I can easily put my phone in there and turn on my sound system and have a little entertainment system inside the tent tonight. And I just found this at the store. It's my new great love in life. I love grape. It's my favorite flavor of ever. Anything fruity, I always gravitate towards grape. So I found this Ghost Energy. It tastes like, not like grape soda like I thought, but grape juice. And this was a gift from my son's girlfriend for Christmas. Very cool. It's a camper's journal. I've decided to start using it at the beginning of the season. Very appropriate. You can write down the location, the date of the trip, stuff about the campground, just different information, comments. Very cool. And then a whole page to write whatever you want on it. So I'm excited to use this. It's actually really cool. I have some other gifts from my kids at home that I plan to utilize this year, including a book that my oldest son gave me on ghost towns in Utah. So that'll be fun. Anyway, that's the full tour, and let's head down there to that beautiful lake. It's a pretty cool view of the campsite. See how it kind of drops down into a bowl, and I've got these large sagebrush. I always stayed at number 5 or number 4 over there, and they're very open, so I'm pretty excited. I haven't stayed in this, and I know that one's not reserved, so the guy over there is really cool, and I'll get his name. I forgot to ask, but yeah, I'm excited about this, and it just drops down all the way to the lake. Let's check this out. This is a pretty easy hike down to the lake, and it's more full than I thought it would be. This is encouraging because this lake has been shrinking for years. We rely on this lake for our whole ecosystem here in northern Utah. You can see over there, there's still, I don't think I can zoom in this new camera, but over there actually much bigger than they look in the camera. Over in those mountains, there's still lots of snow up there. It's been a mild winter. This is Ladyfinger Point. And our campsite is right back there. So let's go check out the lake. Another one bites the dust. Oh, here's another one over here. I always find dead birds on the shore, and I'm never sure why. It's beautiful, but sad. All right, here we are. This is actually hard salt. And not too muddy. It looks muddy, but it's actually pretty soft. Well, firm, I should say. It is sand. These are brine shrimp, the only thing that lives in the Great Salt Lake. These are all dead, of course, but the Great Salt Lake is full of them. I'd like to come here in the summertime and film a video, but it's a nightmare. The reason why is because as soon as the temperature hits around 60 degrees, today it's about 50, the biting gnats come out, and they are relentless. Bug spray does not work on them. And I've camped out here with my kids before when I had a tent trailer years ago, and we were stuck in the trailer almost the whole time. Our poor dogs at the time got eaten alive. I was still married back then, so I had a whole family in the trailer, and we were all just stuck there because as soon as you stepped outside, you got eaten alive. And it's much worse than a mosquito. They're actually no-see-um gnats, which is the whole reason that we have no-see-um mesh. The water's actually moving. It's kind of flowing. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Mirror image. It has been raining for days and days and days. Finally, the weekend came and it cleared up. Well, it's cloudy, but tomorrow is supposed to hit 55. And then next week, a whole round of storms is coming back through. So I thought I better get out. I don't have the kids this weekend. I better make a video before I can't again. Well, it is almost 5 p.m. and sunset is 5:36 p.m. I personally think it's gonna set closer to 6 p.m. but what do I know? But we'll head over there soon and check out the sunset when it actually gets to be that time. More dead birds. I think all I'm gonna do now is maybe go back to camp and just hang out. I'm not really hungry yet. The only thing I've eaten today is a Cliff Bar, a new kind that's really good. And I don't usually like Cliff Bars. I'll show that later because I brought some with. And an energy drink. That's all I've had. I'm really enjoying it this time. It's not nearly as crowded as it usually is. Not today. It's very peaceful. I mean, I can hear people and they're having fun, and you know, that's to be expected. But I've had people, there was a couple of years ago I camped here. Some kids kept running into my camp and playing pranks on me. It was funny at first, and then it just got annoying, and their parents just watched. Didn't do anything. Anyway, back to camp. I had to improve my situation. I was sitting here for quite a while and I started to just get lower and lower to the ground, sinking into the sand. So I collected some rocks. That or I was going to end up just sitting in the dirt. There was one time I used this and forgot about the missing feet. I know I can buy them, but I just keep forgetting. Anyway, I was camping in the maples near my home here in Ogden, and I set that thing down and muddy ground, and I sat down and I went, thump. It was pretty hilarious. I was just grateful to be alone. Nobody saw it but me. I don't even think I caught it on camera, so I learned from that, and I've just reinforced my situation here. Sun is getting there. It's kind of working its way down, and it's pretty chilly. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw on my insulated hoodie over this hoodie. It's actually that chilly. It's gonna get down to about 31 degrees tonight Fahrenheit. When I got here it was 50, and it's already dropped. The campsite was $20 to reserve online, and they use a third-party website, and which is probably why I'm not over at site number 4, which, by the way, is still completely unoccupied. But I like this one better, so sometimes fate smiles on you and you end up in a better situation than you thought you would be in. Anyway, the reservation fee is $8, so it really cost me $28. So there you go. I am missing a guy line. Like I said, my son's been using this to backpack in, and I don't think I've ever slept in it. One of my older boys bought it, then he moved out, and then my younger son used it on a couple of backpacking trips to the Uintas, and he was pretty comfortable in there. I kind of wish there was a pull out or something to kind of bring this out more. But it has a guy line here, and it has the loop here, but no guy line. So not a big deal. It's not windy. I just wanted to kind of stretch it out for space sake, kind of just pull it out and give it some room. But I'll have to put guy lines on it when I get home, homemade ones. Mostly though, it's pretty solid. Anyway, I think it is time to eat. Time for some dinner. Tonight's dinner is in MRE, and it is menu 6, beef taco filling. I hope it comes with tortillas, and it's not just the filling, but let's get this out onto a tray. Nice. Alright, if you know that reference, we can be friends. My buddy Joe sent me the tray because we're always joking about Steve, the MRE guy. He has a huge channel on YouTube, and he only reviews MREs from all over the world. So it's just my little homage to him. Homage? Depends on if you're from England or not, I guess. But, little tribute to him. Thought it would be kind of funny to bring the tray. I'm probably not going to actually eat off of it. My situation is vastly improved. This nice, thick, warm hoodie with the fuzzy lining, and even my hat has the fuzzy lining in it. I feel much better. It's actually getting that chilly out here. It's crazy. But I planned for it. I even have a heavier coat in there and thermals. So I'm pretty sure I'll end up using all of that gear. Here's what we have. I'm not a fan of this. It's just kind of bland from my memory. 310 calories. This is trail mix recovery with pretzels. So it did come with tortillas. And unfortunately, this is hilarious. Okay, anyone who watches my videos knows that I absolutely loathe, no, you're going to focus, there you go. I loathe this cheese spread. This military cheese spread is the worst. It's disgusting. So, in fact, it feels almost like you have to mix it up or you're going to get some kind of powder in your mouth. Anyway, my buddy Joe for Christmas sent me a care package, a Christmas gift. I was excited and I opened it. He sent me something like 20 packets of the cheese sauce. So I hate this stuff. He thought it was hilarious. It was pretty funny. So I have tons of this at home now. Then I'm never going to eat. But tonight I actually will. And here's why. Because we have the Santa Fe rice and beans. Now this is separate from the taco filling. But this is kind of a secondary supplement to the main dish. And I'm going to actually heat this and let this melt in this. So I'll probably heat all this in my cook pot. It depends. Sometimes these these warmers work really well, and other times they don't work so well. So I'm going to try and see what happens. Then we have the, this isn't a very full MRE. There's not a ton of stuff in it, but this is the actual beef taco filling, and that's pretty heavy. There's a good amount of food in there. It's maybe half a pound. Can't wait to put that in the tortillas. And I brought a spork, but I kind of only brought it as a backup because the MREs always come with the spoon. We have our accessory pack here, and that has coffee, gum, sugar, toilet paper, wet wipe, sweet and low, so you can choose. And I think there's creamer in there, and that's it. These have gotten really chintzy over the years. They used to have all kinds of things in it, and I'm surprised it didn't come with some kind of hot sauce. I kind of wish I'd brought, I have one of those little tiny Tabasco bottles at home that you get in these MREs. They started putting them back in the MREs. They took them out for a long time, and they were just packets. But yeah, I don't see any hot sauce in here at all. That's pretty much what I said was in here, so unfortunately no hot sauce. I wish I'd thought ahead. I would have brought some, but it is what it is. So let's get started with the rice and beans. I'm gonna test the warmer with the rice and beans, and if it doesn't work very well, I'll put some water in my cook pot and we'll heat it up that way. Do not overfill, and don't dump it in your lap either. It's about right. Let the water hit that element. See if I'm getting a reaction at all out of it. So frustrating because this is a newer case of MRE, so it should work. I'm not feeling any heat from that at all. It is sizzling though. Maybe I'm just being impatient, so we'll put it in a little sleeve and let it sit for a few. I think what I'll do actually is, while this is heating in this, maybe I'll actually heat the taco filling in my cook pot just to save time, because I don't want to miss that sunset either. We'll see, let's see. That way, if that fails, I've already got some warm water. So this cook pot and this torch are brought to you today by Mr. T-Max, my buddy Joe. He's always giving me stuff to use. Alright, so I've got in here, got my towel, my camp towel, MSR pocket rocket, this backup spork that I probably won't need, and a little collapsible cup for drinking. Alright, still not feeling the love there. So I have more water in my car it's a 5-gallon jug, and I filled it about half full because I know they don't have water here. So another thing to prepare for if you come to the island. They have it in select places, but not everywhere, and especially not here at Ladyfinger. So I get this, my fuel, my little cozy. Remember to remove the cozy. There we go. So that's what that looks like. It's just leather. It's pretty cool. There we go. Ugh. Something. Oh, there we go. It's like it's not supposed to do that. I love this cook pot. It's twice the size of my old one, and I can put 2 full packages of ramen in this. Pretty cool. Now we wait. As soon as this is warm, I will fold this in half and tuck it down in the pot to heat it through.
meantime, there's our tortillas. There should be 2 of them. Oh, they're whole wheat. That's cool. 2 tacos. Joe would be jealous right now. His nickname on Facebook is Taco Joe. He makes tacos almost every night of the week, I swear. He's really good at it. We've actually had tacos out here on the island, and almost had to share them with some buffalo. Was it last year, 2 years ago? They invaded our camp, and I was trapped in my car while he cooked breakfast. So, that gentleman's name is Colby, and he's from New Orleans, and he has the accent and everything. So shout out to Colby, very nice guy. He brought me the canister. He bought this yesterday at Walmart. He couldn't find the little ones, and he wasn't sure if they would fit his stove because obviously they have a different spout. And he's out of here in the morning. He's on travel, staying here for a couple nights, and then he's moving on. Really nice guy, but he didn't want to just throw this in a dumpster because it's literally almost full, and he's done using it, he said. So score. I offered to pay for it, but he said no, I'm not worried about that. So anyway, there's that. And in the meantime, our heating element failed. I can touch it with my bare hands. It's warm, like a hand warmer, but it did not heat the beans and rice. So what I've done is I've stuck all 3 packets. The cheese, I know it's a sin to eat that cheese, but it's going to be mixed in with the beans, so it'll be good. It'll actually flavor it. And I suppose if I mix it in with things, it's fine, but by itself, I can't stand it. And the taco seasoning, taco filling, they're all in there. And I think what I'll do, kind of place tortillas on top and see if I can warm them up because they're ice cold. They're just, room temperature maybe. Room temperature being the temperature that it is right now, which is probably somewhere in the lower 40s at this point. And the sun is going down over there, so we had a pretty lengthy conversation. I don't know if I'm going to make it over there or not. I'm going to try. And if I do, probably just take some cool GoPro footage of it, time lapse or something. I'm not sure. But I really need to eat first. And if I don't, it's not a big deal. So I'll come back when this is heated. Okay, just real quick. I think we're done. Oh yeah, it's all melted. Whoops. We'll eat the beans out of the pouch, so we'll leave the filling in there. Here's the beans and rice. Ooh. Want some? We'll put the cheese spread in it. Now here's proof that this is not cheese. I heated this, and it's almost completely, you see in there, it's almost all oil. There's some cheese leftovers, but it's a lot of oil. This is that American cheese stuff. So it's okay. I'll live. I'll stop complaining because it's probably going to be, sorry, I'm not watching what I'm doing. It's probably going to be really delicious mixed in here. I'm going to be nice and full and warm tonight. There we go. Mix it all in. It's hot. It's really hot. Owie. Man, I wish I had some hot sauce. All right, there it is. Want some? I don't know how focused that is. I'll come back in a minute. I got to charge this. All right, for the sake of battery, I went ahead and ate the beans and rice, and just to let you know, even though I didn't film it, it was quite delicious, so there is proof that I ate it. I found a new use for those cheese packets, and maybe those ones that my buddy Joe sent me as a joke, I can actually use them as mix-ins for things like this. So this is the taco filling.
I'm just gonna hurry and throw it together. So I don't think we're gonna make it to the sunset tonight, but I'm not just here for the sunset, so I'm not worried about that. I can throw up some footage here from another year that I came here and got an amazing view of the sunset. I'll roll it in here while I try to get this stupid MRE pouch open. Come on, man. It was quite beautiful. One of the most amazing sunsets I've witnessed out here. Not all of them are, and I'm looking out there on the horizon. It looks like the clouds are really kind of playing havoc with the sunset right now. It's not very beautiful. People will drive out here to the island just for the evening to try to see it or photograph it or whatever. There's our filling. I just kind of lucked out that time, and this time it really doesn't look that spectacular, so I'm not worried about it. What I think I'll do is get up early and we'll hike out to the point then and take in some of the views. So here we go. There's taco number one. That looked delicious. I should take a picture of that. By the way, I have Instagram. I probably just put it up on the screen. I keep burping. The cheese does not like me, and I don't like it. Kind of looks like something an animal left behind, but I'm sure it's delicious. I wish I had some sour cream and all the fixins. Here we go. Oh, don't do that. Okay, this is going to have to be, I'm going to have to actually use this tray, and we will eat it that way. It's kind of maybe a little casserole. So there's that. I have to get creative sometimes, and it's not a big deal. I can just throw this tray in my car after I rinse it off. Now I can make a mess, and it's not a big deal. Oh my goodness, what do we got? A mini taco. This is not going well. Okay, here goes. Want some? Ooh, I would show you closer up, but I'm gonna make a huge mess if I do. Well, I gotta do the standard. Every YouTuber I see that eats something goes. Especially the ASMR videos. Speaking of that, I have a new ASMR channel, if you don't know. It's Utah Steve Outdoors ASMR. It's always linked below. I tried to film 2 videos at once on most of my outings. One ASMR and one regular where I'm talking your ears off. This one won't have an ASMR video just because there's so many people around and airplanes, and it just doesn't work. But when I get up in the UNS where it's quiet, I like to make ASMR videos. I've also restarted my old vlog channel. It's called Broken Man Healing now. And currently, I'm not posting new content. I'm doing something similar to what I'm doing here. I'm uploading old vlogs from many years ago because I still find them useful, and also for posterity's sake, which is the other reason I'm uploading the old ones on this channel. I just want it somewhere where it still exists if something goes wrong with my hard drive or something. Anyway, you can check out those 2 channels down below. Both of them have a weekly post right now, and anyway, I'm going to shut up and I'm going to eat my delicious tacos, and then I'll come back and we'll figure out what to do next. This lighting is making me look like some old man in an art film. But it is what it is. I'm in my thermals. I'm in the tent. I sat outside forever just appreciating the quiet. This place went totally dead quiet by 7 p.m. It's about 8 p.m. now, so it's hiker midnight. And I just sat outside enjoying the city lights in the distance and the stars overhead. And keep hearing something growl a little ways off towards the bathrooms. But it's not growling at me, so I don't care. So I'm all tucked in, and I'm going to watch my favorite movie of all time, which is Castaway. From the time I saw that in the theaters, I was hooked, and it's been kind of a metaphor for my whole life. So I've watched it hundreds of times, and I'm going to watch it again tonight. This is just the kind of mood I'm in, so I'm going to watch that, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I'll probably get up pretty early because of it, because it's only 8 p.m. Colby over there said he gets up at like 5, and he's going to go drive further into the island. He's a photographer. So that's about it. I'm kind of winded. You may wonder why I'm winded inside a tent. It's because this tent is, when it says it's a one-man tent, it means it. Like, it is extremely small, and I've got that respiratory virus a little bit still. Man, trying to change my clothes and rearrange all my stuff in here has been a challenge. Definitely would not take this backpacking. I don't know how my son has done it. He's as big as I am, and I don't know how he fits in here with all this stuff. It's got to be frustrating. So this is probably the last time I use this tent. I need more space than this. It's like a big wrestling match just to get in my thermals and then get in my sleeping bag. So that's it. I'm going to say goodnight, throw this on the charger, and we will see you in the morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday morning, February 15th. Today's breakfast is instant oatmeal with some peanut butter mixed in for protein and flavor. This is a really good idea. I highly recommend it. Way better than, that was cool. Way better than the oatmeal by itself. This is the Cliff Bar I was talking about. I'll show it to you in a bit. It's kind of not as dense as regular Cliff Bar. It's very kind of fluffy. Just waiting for the water. So I slept really well. Super warm and comfortable. I got up at 1 a.m. to use the restroom and everything was peaceful. Sleep pad. I have 2 Thermarest sleep pads that are insulated, and this one is the one that leaks. I get them mixed up. I have a green one as well that doesn't leak. So what happened during the night is I kept hitting rock bottom with my hip. Sound like an old man. My hips hurt. But, you know, when your hip's digging into hard ground, it wakes you up. So I had to wake up a couple times and blow it back up. It's self-inflating, but I had to blow air into it. And next time, I'm going to throw that away on the way out. Probably throw it in the dumpster. It's had it. I don't know where the leak is, and it's several years old, so it's just time for a new sleep pad for the season. So I'll be looking into that. I guess I don't need the hood so much anymore. When I woke up, it was frosty. Not quite frosty. It was almost there. The water did not freeze, and there was not frost on everything, so there wasn't too much moisture in the air. These birds, they are your alarm clock out here. I'd say that's boiling, wouldn't you? All right. Hot. So what I like to do is take these squeezable peanut butter things. Once I get the oatmeal mixed and a little bit thick, just guesstimate a bunch of peanut butter. Sorry, no adolescent jokes. I won't. All right. Let that peanut butter melt in. I'm going to let that sit in there for a little bit. So these things are really handy, even if you just need a boost of energy and protein. But if you're allergic to nuts, obviously this won't be a good option. So as you can see, it's a much thicker, less dense, almost fluffy in the middle for a Cliff Bar, and quite delicious, actually. This is probably my new favorite. The only thing that would make this better is if it was one of their caffeinated ones. But they've got plenty of flavors in the caffeinated variety now, so these are pretty good. I don't think this has a zoom on it, but there's a grouse of some kind on top of the rocks right there, just clucking away. He's pretty big. He's about the size of a chicken. So he's right there, and he's talking to the ones way over there. There's so many different varieties of birds out here. My favorite being the meadowlark, which I grew up listening to in Taylorsville, Utah, before they built all the houses and strip malls. This is what it looked like outside of my neighborhood. And I would wake up every day to meadowlarks. I would catch garter snakes and rabbits, believe it or not. Caught a cottontail once. Tried to raise it as a pet, but it didn't work out, so my mom made me let it go. Lizards, lots of lizards. Bluebelly lizards is what we called them. I don't know what their official name is. But I had lots of pet lizards. It's where I learned to really love being in the outdoors, and probably why I love the desert so much. As much as I love the forests, I also really appreciate the desert because of my growing up. My childhood was spent running around in this stuff. I forgot to mention that I did include my trail camera on this trip. Turned it off a while ago, so let's just go ahead and unclip it. This was really inexpensive, like $30, and it's super lightweight, so I can even take it backpacking because of how little it weighs. My old one was a Browning, and it's super heavy. It doesn't have as much clarity to it, so this one is a KJK hunting trail camera. There you go. So what we're gonna do now is take a little hike, a little morning hike. I'm gonna hike down to the other side here, down to the lake, and then we're gonna come around and come up the point. There's Colby over there trying to take pictures of that grouse, I think. Yeah, we're gonna just make a big circle from here. I just gotta get a little water. Super thirsty this morning. Okay, I left the water in the car. I chugged a bunch of it just now. So the island's gonna start coming alive with people. There's a guy parked over there. We've got a visitor over here. So I spotted this sidewalk here. This may have been a restroom at one time, like that. I'm not sure. And I've noticed that it goes down here, and if you look out this way, it actually connects out to the shore. Something kind of large out there I've been curious about. I don't know what it is. It's not a bison, or I would recognize that, but I'm not sure. I'll have to go out there and take a peek. This is interesting. I don't know what this used to be. Lots of animal droppings for sure. Huh. Maybe someone out there knows. Right off Ladyfinger Point on Antelope Island what this concrete padding was at one time. There's a lot of history here, so it could be anything. Anyway, it's not continuing. The concrete isn't. But that's what that looks like down there, so maybe it's intermittent. I'm not sure. We'll figure this out. Might just be sand, this white sand. Oh yeah, that's all it is. So the concrete ends back there, and then it's all sandy all the way down. There's a trail here. Man, this is hard to walk in. This squishy, you sink right into it. This looks like it might be a little more solid. There's a guy way out there. That's probably his car that was up there by mine. Yeah, this is way more solid. Solid ground. And in case you were wondering, Jesus loves you. Also, Kelsey loves Jenny, apparently. Whatever. So this is a very popular thing to do. Fred and Edith, Eternity. Fred and Edith sounds kind of, I would say they were older. Not many people named Fred and Edith anymore. Not even in my generation. Somebody's favorite. Lots of hearts. This is cool. Look at that. Melanquez. Okay. So this is Bridger Bay. This is Ladyfinger Point. We're camped over that way. And that island out there, I don't know if you can see it. That's where all the birds nest. I want to say Easter Island for some stupid reason. Egg Island. And more bird carcasses. I don't know why there are so many deceased birds. There always are. The Bridger Bay campground is straight right there. I can see it with my naked eye. And it's pretty cool. You can have a fire there. But I've kind of lost my taste for it. Too many partiers. Not enough enforcement of after hours quiet time. And I might add that Colby up there is just like me. He appreciates the quiet. So I think we have a mutual respect for that. We've both very much enjoyed the peace of this area. And we've had some good conversation. Don't get me wrong. It's just that I seem to appreciate. We waved at each other this morning when we were both awake. Obviously, mostly awake. Look at all these birds. And haven't spoken really this morning. There's just an understanding that this is beautiful and peaceful and quiet. That's the way we like it. I don't often come here and get this kind of quiet. Well, it turns out that big thing I saw in the water right there is a large tumbleweed. It looks much smaller right here for some reason. When I was back there, it looked quite large. So this is it. This is pretty boggy and green. I don't know if you can see any brine shrimp. I don't see any living. There's some floating on top there. I used to catch them when I was a kid. If you don't know what a brine shrimp is, if you ever bought a sea monkey kit as a kid, that might just be my Gen X in me. That's what sea monkeys are. They are brine shrimp. Little tiny red things. Invertebrates, I think. Anyway, don't see any swimming around, but they're definitely here because you can see their corpses. Yeah, I have vivid memories of catching those with my hands. More birds. Very sad. These two died together. It's not a predator, whatever it is, because they'd be torn to pieces. Anyway, let's move from here over to the point. We're going to hike up to the top of the point and back down to camp. Looks like this used to be a sign. Somebody burned it. Actually, I think they just stuck a piece of wood in the ground. Duh. It did. It looked like a signpost. Well, here is the actual Ladyfinger Point. I'm going to film as I wander through just because there's a chance of seeing some wildlife. And to give you an idea of the terrain as well. You just kind of have to forge your own path through this, I think. There are a lot of little cubbies in these big rocks. It'd be a good place for coyotes to bed down. Speaking of that, they woke me up about 3 a.m. yipping and howling and the crazy things they do. Unlike wolves, they sound like a bunch of raving lunatics. Not so majestic. Imagine a puppy with separation anxiety yelping whenever you leave the house. Imagine a whole pack of those. They usually keep me awake, but in recent years I've become more acquainted to the sound as sort of comforting. They've never bothered me. I don't bother them. This is pretty rocky. I'm going to have to find the best way through and come back. So right over in there I just saw a little, it was either a white mink or oh look, there's a cottontail rabbit. There he is. See him? Weasel, maybe? He and the rabbits are running from me. Cottontail's kind of watching me. He's right over there. Kind of, I don't know if you can see him till he moves. He's curious about me. Not a jackrabbit. There they go. There's a couple of them, a few of them. Really beautiful. Cute little guys. Let's see if I can get him to move. Right in the middle. There's another one up higher. Yeah. Beautiful little things. Apparently quite tasty as well. But there's no hunting here. This is a refuge for the animals. So I'm following their little game trail path here. They're actually helping me out. There's one over here. Just took off over in the rocks. Let's walk over this way. There he is. See him? Hey, guy. How you doing? The F are you doing in my house? Over here, too. Big fat one. He's a big boy. Beautiful creatures. Yeah, it just kind of winds up through here. That's how far we've come. All right. Let's see what we got here. I'm pretty noisy compared to those rabbits. They don't make a sound. You can see under these big rocks where they make their dens and that kind of thing. Must be getting my strength back from that virus because I'm not as winded as I was yesterday. Like I could fit inside that. I'm not going to try because I don't know what's in there. Isn't that cool? There's the view. Ladyfinger Point. Okay, we're coming up the other side here. That area is where we hiked down to last night. So camp is straight up from that. We went down to this side of the lake and came up here through all of this. There's a guy down there taking pictures like Colby is. He said Colby, by the way, has this huge lens attachment. Forgive my lack of vocabulary when it comes to photography, but he said it weighs 30 pounds. It's huge. He's got to be getting some awesome pictures. If I talk to him before I leave, I'll ask him if I can give a shout out to his Instagram. He's already following me and vice versa. And he takes some pretty cool pictures of wildlife. So I think what we'll do is sit up there for a minute and just take in the view. Quite the view from up here. That was really cool walking into all those rabbits, and especially that little white weasel thing. I'll have to look it up, see what kind of weasel-like creatures live on the island. He was adorable. And he stood out like a sore thumb, because I would imagine he's probably brown in the summer and white in the winter. But there's no snow, so he was easy to spot. They change colors according to the season. I had to take off my coat. I'm thinking about taking off my hat too. It's pretty warm. Oh, check out my glasses. If they're sitting crooked on my face, this is why. See, broken. But the arm there snaps into place and will stay there mostly, and it sits on my face all crooked. I'm about due for an eye appointment, so I'm just writing it out. What happened is a mentally ill patient at my work. If you don't know, I work in hospital security. And I was watching this very large woman bang her head against the wall in her room. And it's not a padded room like you see on TV. There is a place like that in the hospital. But not in the emergency room where this person was. And she was walking into the corner of the room and banging her head to the point she was going to make herself bleed. And so I had a responsibility to stop her. And I grabbed her. You know, I'm 5'10". I'm 200 pounds. A little overweight. This woman was huge. She was taller than me and she was wider than me. And I'm not making fun of her. Those are just facts. And as I grabbed her and forced her back to her bed, where we had to actually restrain her with soft restraints to the bed. As I was forcing her back to the bed, she brought her arm up like this, and it hit me right here in the side, and my glasses just went bing. And it's the third pair of glasses I've had a behavioral patient break. And how long have I been there? Almost 12 years. So I'm to the point now, I think I'm just going to go back to contact lenses. Several years ago, that's what I wore. I will be getting those replaced, so if they're sitting wonky on my face, it's not because I'm not aware. It's because I earned it. A couple of people down there running towards the water. People are starting to show up for the day. It's going to be 55 degrees today. I promise you, a lot of people are going to show up here. But I don't know if I'll be here then or not. Way down there. That's where we were yesterday. That bird is a meadowlark. Okay, I've got the coat back on. I've cooled down. And now I'm ready to go. We'll just hike down through this and then back up to camp. All kinds of nooks and crannies in here. Look at this. Wow. There used to be a fence of some kind here. Concrete. Some posts. And down in there, some more little cubbies for animals to live. And probably kids to play. Oh look, it's one of those geological markers. Point. A. Richards survey, August 1956. Okay, camp is right up there. We just came down from this. I had to kind of focus on my steps. It's pretty rocky. Every footstep matters. There was a lady who came out here trail running a few years ago. And when she didn't come home, her husband reported it. She apparently went trail running out here all the time. And she was found deceased. She'd slipped off some rocks. I don't know where, not necessarily here, but similar to this, you know, one wrong step. Very sad. All right, back to camp. I'll throw this on the charger for a bit. I think the plan from here is to clean up, maybe drive around and see if we can spot some bison or other wildlife. I did see some pronghorn deer tracks. This is called Antelope Island because a lot of people refer to those as antelope. But you look up antelope versus pronghorn deer and you'll get two completely different animals on two different continents. So, it's Antelope Island, but probably just because it's easier to say than pronghorn deer island. But I saw some of their tracks on the beach, so who knows? Okay, and we are back. Everything looks good. A lot more to that than it looks. Pretty cool. Colby's packing up, it looks like. I think that's what I'll do. Well, Colby is all but packed up here. Looks like he's got a couple energy drinks and his tripod ready to go. He's taking stuff back to his car. I just had a conversation with him. He said that he would be happy with me giving a shout out to his Instagrams. I'll put it right here on the screen and you can check that out. He takes some pretty amazing pictures. I've been going through them. My Instagram I've already posted, so he said he didn't even mind if he was in any of the shots. I just kind of filmed him from a distance, though. Some people don't want to be in the videos, but he's cool with it. Anyway, good to meet him. So shout out to him. And it's definitely time to clean up and take a drive. It is, what time is it? It's 9:17 a.m. and checkout is 11, so this won't take very long. The nice thing about car camping is you can throw everything back in the tub, throw it in the car, and you're on your way. So that's what I'm gonna do. There's that obnoxious grouse. Beautiful bird, though. Not the best camera for zooming in on it, though. Anyway, that's it. Here's proof. Oh, I left my rocks. Leave no trace, right? I don't even know where one of them went. Oh, there it is. So that worked okay, but at some point I slipped off the rocks and sunk in the sand again. So it's time to get some more little rubber feet for that chair. I really like it. I have another one with a tall back on it, but I don't know. I think in the sand it'd be hard to set it up anyway. And these benches are always cold and uncomfortable. They're good for eating at, but not lounging. Anyway, no more garbage or gear or anything. I found 4 tent stakes leaning against this little rock right here that were not mine, so I inherited those. Let's say goodbye to Ladyfinger Point, campsite number 3. See, Colby is long gone, and we are going to hit the trail. Let me grab my GoPro, and goodbye, Ladyfinger site number 3. Let's get out of here. The long hike back to the car. We're the only car here, and I forgot to mention that nobody showed up at any of those campsites that were so-called reserved. So I'm thinking that the very nice lady running the booth was looking at Friday night, not Saturday night, because Colby and I were the only 2 people camped in this entire campground. There are 5 spots, and we only occupied sites 1 and 3. So I think that was still my site for the night, but as fate would have it, I camped in a better spot and made a friend, so that's cool. Let's get out of here. Keep saying that and not doing it, so serious this time. I didn't have to come very far up the road. I thought that was a statue, but it is not, and he's much closer than he looks. Nice, he just took a huge crap. I'll take some pictures of these as well so you can see them on Instagram. Beautiful. He's just staring me down. Yeah. I got my car. I'm jumping in it if he comes after me. People think these are like cows and they try to tease them and play with them, but they are not. They will rip you to pieces. And they're much bigger than a cow. So filming with this is kind of a joke. They are much closer than those 2 little dots you see in the middle of the screen. I think most of the beneficial video I'll get, unless they're right next to the road, is going to be this. So I will take a ton of pictures and I will throw them up on Instagram. But they are only 50 yards away from the road. And in this camera they look like they're, you know, in another state. But we'll get some pictures, and like I said, I'll quit repeating myself, but I'll throw them up on Instagram. Pronghorn. Bobcat. I have seen a bobcat here, so I'm not crazy. I came here once and I was hiking Ladyfinger Point and a bobcat ran from me before I could get it on video. It caught me off guard. So there you go. There's proof. These are the blue belly lizards that I used to catch. Where am I? Right there. I'm not filming high enough. There's the bobcat. Bison, of course. Now that's a jackrabbit. And that's a cottontail, and the cottontails are what we saw this morning. And of course they have coyotes. I can't see the screen, so forgive my crappy filming. We also have burrowing owls, long-billed curlew. I think that's the bird I keep finding dead on the shore. Canyon wren, rock wren, and chukar, or chukar. This is the one that was making all the noise near my camp. And they didn't mention the kangaroo mice that hop around here. They're pretty cool too. You got white rock loop, elephant head spur, and split rock loop. This is actually split rock. Anyway, just some information. You can go online and check out the details on the backcountry sites. There is a grill here, a restaurant, small restaurant. There's a bigger restaurant up on the hill here, but the one I'm thinking of is called the Buffalo Island Grill, and they serve bison cheeseburgers. And the last time I came here, a few years ago, happened to be my dad's birthday, and he had passed away the previous year in August, and it was March 15th. My dad's birthday was the Ides of March. Mine is the 8th. I was his birthday present the year I was born, I guess. But I ate one in his memory, and it was delicious. But I remember it being expensive. It was like 20 bucks for the burger with all the fixins and a soda or some onion rings. I don't know. But usually it's not open this time of year. It's not open until like March. But as I was driving by, there was someone backed up with the door open. They were loading supplies into the restaurant. So I'm thinking it's almost 10 a.m. now, and it probably opens at 11. Yeah, 10:20. So I'm thinking we'll hang out and see if we can snag a buffalo burger on our way out of Antelope Island. Okay, so this is their Facebook page, and one day ago they posted, "It's shaping up to be another nice weekend. We will be open Saturday through Monday, noon to 4 each day. Stop by and grab a bite after you explore the island." So we're definitely doing that, but not until noon. And we have an hour and a half till then, so we're going to do a little more exploring, not a ton, but I got to throw a charge on this again. And then we'll go grab a burger and wrap up the trip. I came up here to this little deck because everybody else is down there in the dirt taking in the sights. It's quite a view from up here. This is Buffalo Point Trail. Down there is where we were, way down there. That parking area is where I parked so we could check out the backcountry trailhead. But the actual Buffalo Point is up there. You hike this little trail. It's not a very long hike, and my kids have even done it with me. And some beautiful views of the lake on that side. I don't know if you guys can see, but out there you can see flat levels on that mountain where the lake levels used to be. It's pretty fascinating how big and deep this used to be. Right now I've been charging my camera for a while and took a little nap in my car. It's about 11:15, so we're getting closer to Buffalo Burger time. And I think we're going to drive somewhere else. This parking lot was pretty empty when I got here, and now it's super crowded. So this is a really rickety staircase. It's a beautiful view, and everyone sees this viewer thing and stops right here. They don't think to go up there. Much better view from up there, if you ask me. So there you go. Buffalo Point parking lot. Yippee! So way down there is where the lake usually is. And there's often bison down there, but I haven't seen too many bison on this trip. I've seen some, and they weren't worth videoing because they were too far away. This is the Frary Peak trailhead. So if you want to get to the highest point on the island, Frary Peak is that highest point way up there. And you can see there are people up in there kind of zigzagging their way up. I have hiked up in here a little bit before, but it's been a while. I just wanted to come up here and kind of check it out, but it's really crowded here today. So this is the east side of the island that I'm on, and this highway that runs along here goes quite a ways. I can see some bison up here on the hillside, up towards the top of the hill, but man, they're up there. That's where they all are. They're all on this hillside. Don't know if you can see those little black dots up there scattering all over the hillside, but those are bison. Looks like the bulk of the herd is hanging out there. See, they're over there. Too far off the road to really get any good pictures without some gear like Colby had. If you keep going down this highway to the right, you end up at the Fielding Gar Ranch, which is a historic ranch here on the island where I believe the bison are managed out of when they have to round them up and tag them and give them their vaccinations and whatnot, and that is down that way. But we only have 20 minutes to bison burger time, so we are going to head back that way. Okay, so we made our way to, and I've been saying it incorrectly, the Island Buffalo Grill, not the Buffalo Island Grill. This isn't Buffalo Island. It's Island Buffalo Grill, and the open sign is flashing. It is noon, so I'm not going to film the ordering or the going inside, but I will bring it out here to the car, and we will take a look at a bison burger. And I am starving, so this is a great way to end this trip. Okay guys, we had one good encounter with a bison close to the road. The rest of them have kind of been disappointing. They're up on the hillside or they're way off in the distance. Can't really get any good pictures without some decent gear, photography gear. And my camera didn't zoom in very well. So this is the best close-up you're going to get of a bison. That, my friends, is a bison burger with cheese, and I put the ketchup and mayo on there myself, and lettuce, onion, and I believe pickles, and then I got some onion rings to go with it. I'm making a huge mess. Anyway, there's your bison close-up. I'm going to tear into this. I know it's delicious. I've had it before. The burger was $15 without the cheese. You add the condiments on later, and the onion rings were $6. And I got a Mountain Dew. I usually don't drink regular. I always drink zero sugar, but they didn't have any. So my system will have to forgive me for the sugar rush this time. Anyway, there it is. Close-up of a bison, or what once was, and is about to become delicious food for my stomach. This is going to be messy. So good. I have been craving a good burger for a long time, and this hits the spot. I'll be back in a minute. I need to be alone with this. Well, guys, that's as far as I could get. I am full. That was so filling. The onion rings are delicious. The burger goes without saying. It definitely is not a hamburger. Now inside there you can get fish and chips, a regular burger. I think you can get a grilled cheese. It's your typical burger place, but you'll pay a lot more for sure for the buffalo burger because it's a specialty meat. Anyway, that's as far as I got before I hit the wall. Oh boy, and another time I would have eaten that whole thing without hesitation, but I hit the wall. I'm full. Very filling and very delicious. Well, that's gonna do it for this adventure, guys. It's a good place to end it. With a full stomach, some delicious food. It's been fun touring the island and camping out, making a friend. It's been a good experience all the way around. Thanks for joining me for another adventure, guys. Do yourselves a favor. Get off that couch, get outside in nature, and have an adventure. The views are spectacular. And if you can't get off the couch for whatever reason, come along with me. I could use the company. Thanks for joining me, guys. We'll see you soon in the next adventure. Take care.